Behold, my stuff.
What's going on, YouTube? It has been a hot minute since I have done a video, and I gotta tell you, I've been busy. Not with props per se, but with a lot of crap. So recently, a Boba Fett helmet has come into my possession. It was a gift from a friend of mine. It's actually really ironic because I had just decided when filling my Star Wars shelves, I wanted a Boba Fett helmet, and I went into the community. I was like, maybe I should get a Boba Fett helmet. There's some Black Series coming out. Let me see what's going on. The level of toxicity I encountered around Boba Fett just made me fucking turn the computer off. What a bunch of scumbags. Like, I get that scum and villainy is Boba Fett's thing, but holy God was the douche parade on display for this. I have never encountered... I mean, I thought, like, Vader snobs or lightsaber snobs were the worst, but fuck me. I have never encountered the level of douchery that I did trying to find out about Boba Fett. And so I immediately was turned off, and I was like, fuck Boba Fett, I'm done. And that sucked, too, because I was a really big fan of Rodriguez. Oh, God, I love Rodriguez. What he did with Tamora and in Mando. Because, let's face it, in the OG films, Boba Fett didn't really do shit. He kind of went out like a bitch. So he wasn't always my top character. He looked cool, but then George Lucas said he's not a Mando, and then it was like, well, then what the hell's the point? I liked Boba Fett from Shadows of the Empire, the game. I thought he was a cool boss. It made him badass. So I liked Boba for that reason. And the comics, when he showed his lightsaber display, you found out he was a Jedi hunter in Legacy or Legends or whatever they call it now. The OG Dark Horse comics. That was all cool. But it was never like my guy. And then they did the prequels with Tamora, and they retconned him into a Maori, which I think was cool, because I'm a fan of Tamora. Not to say I didn't like Jeremy, I did, but I mean, Tamora's a badass, I mean, he's a Maori, he's a fighter, he's a warrior, he does the haka, and that's very popular now. But I was a fan of Tamora's for a good while. I was an actor that I really liked. And, I've always liked New Zealand culture, and, Maori were very cool, so I thought it was kind of cool that all the Mandalorians were Maori then. I was like, oh, so that's cool. So they're like a warrior race. They picked an indigenous warrior people to do that. And then George Lucas was like, oh, yeah, no, they still need to be white people, so they're not real Mandalorians. And I thought that was both racist and crap. And that just sort of turned me off to Boba all over again. But then they made it make sense. When they did Mando, they said he was a foundling. And again, the foundling thing, I think, really saved Star Wars in a lot of ways, because it made a lot of things work. It was sort of I used to use the term Jeff Johns that shit, but now I can't, because Jeff Johns is terrible with film continuity. But in comics, Jeff Johns was like the glue of the DC universe. He made everything fit back during Infinite Crisis. So now it was like, instead of the Maori just being slave labor in the Star Wars universe, it's like, oh, are you brown? Good, you can be the clones, you can be the slave labor. Now they are bringing back that warrior spirit. Tamora got a chance to play Boba Fett well. He was really like, that him and Rodriguez, man, that's what you need for Boba Fett. So that made Boba Fett badass. And then I was thinking, man, now I want a Boba Fett helmet. And then I dove into the community, and I really didn't want it. I was looking at the Black Series helmets. People are bitching and moaning about the Black Series isn't accurate, and they're just reissuing the same helmet with a new paint job. And I'm like, that's every Stormtrooper helmet they've released. Like, that's not new. Why are the Bobas so dick? They released the same Stormtrooper helmet with 3 paint jobs. Nobody said shit. They were just like, yay, new paint job, give me another one. They do that with Boba, and they go, the weathering is still there under the paint, and that's inaccurate. For $100, it's not accurate. Make a whole new mold and a whole new production line for me. It's $100 toy. It's not even a display helmet in the way you think. Like, that's a Ruby's Vader, which is supposed to be based on the Dawn Post, which is supposed to be close to the way the silhouette and look of Vader was in the movie. The proportions are supposed to be that. It's supposed to look like movie Vader. It's a costume helmet, but it's meant to be like that helmet. Down there is the Black Series Vader helmet. I did a video comparing those two, showing you the differences. The Black Series is a toy. It's not supposed to be accurate. And so what if it's just a paint job over it? It's the Empire Strikes Back model with a paint job over it to look like Book of Boba Fett. Who cares? Isn't the movie, the show, Boba Fett gets his armor back and it's all danged up, and then he goes, all right, I'm going to paint over this. You think he stripped it down, sanded it, wet sanded it, and then repainted it? No, he probably just threw paint on it in the arc of the story. So it should have all that layered paint visible underneath. That's good, right? No, they fucking lost their mind about how it's bullshit. Just don't waste your money. It's stupid. Wash my hands of that whole group of people. So if you're one of them, this ain't your video, because I don't like you. I don't need your comment. I don't need your hate. I don't fucking need your approval. I don't want you on my page. Go away. The Boba Fett community fucking sucks. A couple of my friends are big Boba fans. And they were like, no, Al, you got to get the Boba helmet. And I said, well, maybe one day. I moved away from it. I had resigned myself to say, you know what? With them jacking up the Black Series prices, because as much as they bitch about them, they all buy them and then scalp them at $500 a helmet. And it's like, you know what? If I get one, if I can find one, I will. I found my Kylo in a Goodwill for $5. So maybe I'll get lucky and I'll find a Boba helmet. Well, no sooner did I shut it down did my friend Chris send me a Boba Fett kit. I did not know what it was. He told me, Al, I'm going to send you something for Christmas. Because he does that. He sends gifts. He's a very giving person. And he said, it's for your Star Wars collection. It's going to take some work. That's all he told me. So in my mind, I'm like, what the hell's he sending me? A blaster, a lightsaber, maybe a stormtrooper helmet, or X-Wing pilot helmet, because he does have helmets, I think. But I'm like, in my brain, I was just like, what could he be sending me? And then when I found out it was this, I opened it with my friends, one of whom is a huge Boba Fett fan. He has a very high-end Boba Fett thing coming. And it was this. It is a GMH Boba Fett kit. I didn't know what that meant. Like I said, I had looked at it a little bit and moved on when I found out everybody was a douche. So this kit is cast. It is a restoration casting. I don't know the proper term, but basically somebody took the GMH kit, which had seams and it was all fucked, and they restored it. And this has been a limited release out in the community. People really like this casting. I believe this one in particular was a company called Class of 1984 on Etsy. And it's a restored GMH kit. Now, why is the GMH kit popular among Boba Fett fans? Turns out the GMH helmet was originally cast from a production Boba Fett helmet. What production helmet? It's known as Pre-Pro 2, the pre-production 2 Boba Fett helmet. Now, before they shot, they fully assembled Boba Fett's costume and did a weathering and did a paint job and took photos. And those promotional photos can be seen in the Visual Dictionary and in various other Star Wars document sources. The pre-production photos were used to promote Boba Fett as a character, but the costume was not the costume we saw in the final version of the film. But it did influence the look and paint job of things like the Kenner action figure and other comics and promotional material and cartoons and things like that. So the Pre-Pro 2 helmet had layered paint and weathering and stuff on it, but they ended up deciding they were going to change that for different colors and things like that. Maybe how it looked on camera in various settings, they needed to fix it. So what they did was a couple people got some castings of the Pre-Production 2 helmet and started issuing that out into the prop community world, and then eventually it got restored into this beautiful piece. So this helmet has lineage. It's not a fan sculpt. It is a restored, remade version of an original production-used Boba Fett helmet from Empire Strikes Back. Many of the original layered damage and weathering from the paint job and stuff are visible in this casting. It is cold cast. I sanded it down with a 0 steel wool, and then I took a 2000 grit sandpaper and got it nice and smooth so it's nice and shiny and I can really see what I'm looking at, and it's a beautiful casting. Really, really impressive. It's one of the best pulls I've ever seen. I did see like a 1 or 2 little tiny air bubbles on some of the pieces, one there, but I cannot find damage or error in this casting. It's a beautiful casting. So, class of 1984, well done with the pull. Like, fuck me, dude. Well done, man. But yeah, like a lot of this detail is meant to be there. And I went and I found photos where it's on the pre-production helmet. I'm like, well, there's that. To be fair, a lot of this research was done for me. I believe it was the Dented Helmet is the website. But anyway, so now I said, all right, and I was given a Boba Fett kit. It comes with all the other essential pieces that you need to do the helmet. Comes with these clear cast pieces to go into the viewfinder bopper dinger here that goes on the thing and all that. The cap that goes over that. Oh, the whole spiel's in here. Really great casting. Came with this fucking thing. I don't even know what the hell this is. I've seen Star Wars a lot, and I've seen a lot of Star Wars material. I don't know what the fuck this is. This just to me looked like a stand, and somebody had a circuit board on it, because there's a resistor, that's a port, that's a fucking memory chip. Like, what is this? And I was told, oh, this goes behind the vents, and that's what you see behind the vents. And I'm like, Jesus, that's detailed. So this kit is detailed as fuck. I even looked up a couple of kits you can buy online for Boba Fett. Never saw that. So this is a really cool piece. So now I'm thinking to myself, all right, now I've got a helmet. It's a gift from a friend of mine, and I have to keep it, and I have to make it. You do not give away or sell a gift. You keep the gift. You either refuse the gift and return it, or you keep it and you honor it and you do the right by it and you build it and you make it look solid. So I'm gonna make this a crown piece in my Star Wars collection. So now I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck am I gonna paint this? So my initial instinct was I want to do the Mando Book of Boba Fett paint job. That did not get received well by the community. Shocking. So again, I was just like, done. But my friend, who's a huge Boba fan, I said, what would you do if you found this in your mail? And he said, I'd call my friend Nick. I said, okay. He showed me Nick's page. Nix Cosplay or whatever, it's Nix. I took 2 looks at his page, because the first time I had to do a double take, because I thought I was looking at, like, master replicas or something. I mean, the paint job this guy pulls out, holy shit. Because to do a good boba paint job is one thing. To do it the traditional way with the layers, another thing. To replicate it multiple times and it's exactly the same, unheard of. So for me, I was extremely impressed with this guy right off. And my first thought was, this guy is not going to have the time of day for me, knowing nothing about Boba Fett helmets. So, but I trust my friend. And he said, nah, message him. So I messaged him. Immediately got back to me. Hey, man, what do you got? Sent him the pictures. So what are you looking for? You looking to have me paint this? You looking to have me help you? What are you looking for? And I said, I'm kind of looking for anything I can get. Tell me what your pricing is. Tell me what you can if I want to do this myself. It was a gift. I would like to do it myself. I'm just a little daunted by the level of work in a Boba Fett helmet. And I want to do right by the quality of what piece this is. And he sent me what his pricing was. And as a man known for his necros, who's extremely busy and booked years in advance, I knew it was going to be expensive. But if your quality, you take time, he builds about 1 a month, I knew that it was going to be about what he said it was, because that's what I expected it to be. And I still think maybe he's undercharging a little bit, but it was definitely not something that was in my budget, not even from Jump Street. And I knew it wasn't, but I didn't want to insult him. I was curious. And I told him very upfront, like, look, man, you're worth it, but that's just not my budget. And he said, well, I can help you in other ways. And he became a good resource for me. Didn't take a lot of time out of his day, but he sent me a lot of information that would help me build my helmet proper. And then he said, if you need any help, give me a call. I've never encountered that level of helpfulness outside of the Evil Dead community that we started. That's what I would love to encounter more often in the prop making community. I just don't see it. So the fact that this gentleman did that really kind of impressed me. And I can't tout his graciousness enough. I encourage anybody who's interested in helmets and stuff to reach out to him. Armor builds, helmet builds, Star Wars, non-Star Wars related, whatever. Reach out to this guy. I'll put his stuff in my description. But holy God, it was so cool to encounter somebody who has that level of professionalism. And I really appreciate being a good dude. You know, thanks for being solid. Thanks for giving me a little bit of faith in the Boba Fett community, because your brothers and sisters were not filling me with confidence. It was kind of a douche community. So I'm glad to see that there's some pockets of people in there who are really quality and solid people. And that was a lot of fun to encounter. So Nix is the guy's handle. He's based out of California. Cannot tout how great an experience it was to talk to him and work with him. And he's good, man. He's real good. His stuff's going to look a lot better than mine is. But I am going to do this. I am announcing it. It is going to happen. And I've decided I'm going to attempt Empire Strikes Back, because that's the episode where he's not a bitch. So that is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it my best. And we're going to see. I mean, I have the templates and I see the exact way it's to be done, but I still got to do it my own way. So, shush. So I am going to get this started, and I will document it in bits and pieces here and there. You're never going to see one big compilation video of my boba, because it's going to take so long. So Boba's going to jump into various other videos that I do. Although when I do a long build, I may do it on my Twitch stream, which is the Joey Xander Twitch stream. Why? Because I didn't know what else to call it at the time, and Gothman was taken. So I made it Joey Xander, which was my Taz show handle. I may change it in the future, but that for now, that's what it is. So if I do those videos, I will download them, speed them up, and probably put them here anyway. But I will do some Twitch streams of my long builds when I am doing them. I got to tell you again, it was just so reinvigorating to talk to somebody in the Star Wars community who has that giving nature that we bring to Evil Dead, if I do say so myself. And what a great guy, you know, really cool. I've monitored his page. I'm active on his page now on Facebook. And not only is he cool, but his community of his customers and everything is really solid, really helpful people, not douchey at all. Really, really dig his vibe. So very, very cool. Nix, good dude. Highly recommend his work and his stuff. And in the future, I've got some other stuff coming down the pipe that I'm working on. Let me show you just a couple teasers at the end here. I know it's always like, are you ever going to not have a teaser and just do something? But did get a metal Marshall badge. We're going to go over this in a separate video. We also picked up some foam clay. And we are sculpting new faces that potentially talk for our Mattel Baby Yodas, because we want a slightly more detailed, better looking face. Now that I got up close and personal with a really good one, I want to start doing more of these sculpts. So this was the initial resculpt that I did for an open mouth Baby Yoda, but I've decided I really need to change this whole area. Potentially all the way out to the cheeks, the neck, all of it. This all has to change. From here up is pretty good, but this has to go, and the ears have to be bigger. So I'm looking into making those changes. So all this stuff is happening. I hope to have some more Masters of the Universe stuff coming up in the near future if I can get my hands on it. I am currently building my Harry Potter section of my house. You can see platform 9 3/4 is started over here. So I'm working on that. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe. Skeletor is still happening. It's not done. I just want to debut Skeletor at an event if I can. So I'm kind of waiting to finish him to time it with an event. But very cool stuff. Thanks everybody for tuning in for 20 minutes of yip yap and Boba Fett stuff. But again, class of 1984 GMH restored Boba lid. High quality. High quality. This bucket retails, I think, for about $230. So not a cheap investment, but holy crap, what a complete kit, what a great kit. Highly recommended if you are looking to do one, and you're looking to do it as close to what they use on Star Wars as possible. That's this. Some people are going to say maybe the face needs to be squished in more, this, that, and the other. I've seen a lot of it on the forums, but I can't imagine anybody being dissatisfied with this. It's really, really cool. I like it a lot. So I highly recommend it. Please pick it up if you are interested. If not, keep an eye out for them and keep on the page to see what I end up doing with this. First thing we're going to do is silver coat this and hit it with the flat colors that we need to start this bad boy. And we're going to do some masking when we do that, and that will get its own video. Just the prepping of the initial paint job is going to get its thing, and I'm going to show you guys that. So let's do this thing, and thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for 2021 crap.